quite a turnout. I think this is the only flag raising we do in the city that actually has a food truck. So this has got to be a first. But this is fabulous. We got a little bit of a breeze tonight, which is good. I wish we had a little bit more shade for everybody. So if you want to get a little closer over here, if you want to get out of the sun, there's a little bit of shade. But anyway, well, good evening, everyone. This is another of the major events that we have as a city during Cape Verdean Recognition Week. And we started off last week with a fabulous ceremony to honor all the scholarship recipients at the Whaling Museum. And that was, it was a privilege for me to attend and speak at that ceremony, and just a real honor to watch not only deserving students receive recognition and financial support, which was hugely generous, but just to watch yet another occasion in which folks have come together, both businesses and individuals, to support the next generation. And I just, just to start off, I just want to say thank you to Marilyn Gonzalez, Marianne Rogers, Carl Cruz, everybody who has been involved in that part of Cape Verdean Recognition Week. The scholarships are very meaningful. I don't know if any of the recipients are here today, but I know a lot of the organizers are, obviously, and I would just ask everybody to join me in a round of applause and thanking them for giving back. We have a number of speakers today, so I'll keep it really brief, and it is hot, and I'll keep it really, really brief, but I just wanted to say that it is a special week for New Bedford. Nominally we honor Cape Verdean independence this week, as well as American independence, but we also celebrate in many ways an ethnic group, a culture that has borne such huge dividends for this city over well over a century long. And as I mentioned in my remarks the other night, it was the whaling industry that connected Cabo Verde with New Bedford in the 19th century, and it's that connection that gave New Bedford the gift of the Cape Verdean community, which has continued to give in so many ways, not just in things that we've recognized this week, and scholarships and high performance in schools and that, but in many ways that I think we have to continue to recognize. The Cape Verdean community, it just bears repeating, has a military participation rate that rivals any other ethnic group in America. It really does, and we all know folks who have Cape Verdean descent who have worn the uniform. My good friend Josie Montero is somebody I served with in the National Guard, is right in front. There's so many other ones as well, and I just want to ask you to join us in a round of applause for all their contributions. And it's also bears emphasizing that although there are Cape Verdean communities in many American cities, there's none quite like New Bedford in terms of the city's relationship with its Cape Verdean community. What our Cape Verdean community is here is so inextricably woven into what New Bedford is. There's no separating the two. Modern New Bedford is a whole lot of it is about the Cape Verdean contribution, which has been remarkable. And so for me as mayor, it's just proud for me to be part of this, to be part of the ceremonies, and to be part of the celebration this week. So without any further ado, I do want to thank you, Marianne, again for all of your contributions, and ask everybody to give us yet another round of applause for Marianne, who's just in the thick of it all the time. And I will read the official proclamation this week, and then call up our speakers in order. So this is the official proclamation. This is the 46th anniversary of the Cape Verdean Recognition Parade, sponsored by the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee. The honorary Grand Marshal for this year's parade will be none other than Peter Berta. Where's Peter? Where is he? You can't hide, Peter. Another Cape Verdean veteran, by the way, who we all know as a basketball coach and a role model, who for over 40 years has dedicated himself to the youth of New Bedford by using basketball as a tool to teach respect and responsibility. The Cape Verdean Recognition Scholarship Committee has awarded over $40,000 to 27 deserving area high school students. This week commemorates the 43rd anniversary of the independence of the Republic of Cabo Verde, and New Bedford has long had a sister city relationship with Mindelo São Vicente. New Bedford has been a destination for Cape Verdean immigrants and home port for the schooner Ernestina. And I'll just say parenthetically that the Ernestina is getting better all the time. Kat Saucier from my staff was up in Maine this week taking pictures of it. There's evidence of real good progress being made. We continue to push the state on that. Tony Cabral, who you'll hear from, has been working really hard to make that happen. The parish of Our Lady of Assumption, the first Cape Verdean Catholic Church in North America, celebrated its 113th anniversary this year. And of course, and this year is a particularly poignant moment to recognize this, that the Maine Post Office in New Bedford is named in honor of the Honorable George N. Layton, the first Cape Verdean American United States District Court judge who passed away on June 6, 2018 at the age of 105. It was less than a month ago that the judge passed away. And despite his passing, he still continues to be an inspiration to so many of us. And it's just such a tremendous example of a moral compass, of toughness, of grit, and of generosity. So therefore, as mayor, I do hereby proclaim June 25th through July 7th as Cape Verdean Recognition Week. It's kind of long. It's only supposed to be 7 days, right? Cape Verdean Recognition Week and a half. How's that? And ask all of our citizenry to share in the celebration. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you at the parade on Saturday. And we have a number of folks who are going to speak now. So without any further ado, did I miss something? Oh, wait, I thought we had done that. Oh, we had done that. Oh, I walked in late. All right, so Dana DeBarros. Where's Dana? Dana is going to be in front of the camera today. And we'll show you just what a Renaissance man he is. He'll be doing the national anthem. Dana.
Welcome, everyone. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I know what you're thinking after hearing Dana like that. When is the mayor going to give him a raise? All right. So to sing the Cabo Verde national anthem will be Cassandra Lopes.
Canta, irmão, canta, meu irmão, que a liberdade é hino e uma certeza, com dignidade inteira semente, no pó da ilha nua, no despenhadeiro da vida, esperança é do tamanho do mar que nos abraça, sentinela de mares e ventos perseveram antes entre as estrelas e o Atlântico. Entoa o cântico da liberdade. Canta, irmão, canta, meu irmão, que a liberdade é hino, é minha certeza.
Beautifully done, Cassandra. All right, so our next speaker will be a gentleman who needs no introduction and who I suspect probably represents more Cape Verdean Americans in the state legislature than anybody else. That is Antonio Cabral. Tony.
Well, that is a correct fact. And I'm extremely proud to be here and being able to represent all of you in the Cape Verdean American community up in the State House. It's a sense of pride for me because not only because it is a wonderful community, but a community that knows how to give back. A community that has really made New Bedford what it is today, from the time of the whaling era, to the textile era, to the apparel area, and today, has made this community a richer community for all of us, a better community for us and for our kids and for our grandkids to live in. So to all of you, and on behalf of those that I represent, thank you very much for all of you, for everything that you do to make this community a better community. We should give a big hand to the Cape Verdean Vets Honor Guard. You know, they are everywhere. Every important event, be the Memorial Day Parade, the Veterans Parade, the Cape Verdean Parade, any significant event in this city, in particular those that honor the veterans of this city, they are there in the front every single time. So thank you guys. You are the best. You really are. Now this begins the week that we celebrate our roots. And I say our roots because the Cape Verdean Recognition Week is really about us, New Bedford, celebrating our collective roots, traditions, and culture. Without the Cape Verdean community, New Bedford would not be what it is today. And that's what makes us diverse and better every day, because we know how to celebrate, we know how to stop in time, and not only to say thank you, but celebrate our collective culture and traditions in this city. There's no other city in this Commonwealth that really knows how to do this the way we do it. And no one else knows how to do better than the Cape Verdean American community. So, for some, it's to celebrate Independence Day of Cape Verde. For some, it's to really celebrate the struggles and the success of the Cape Verdean community here in America. For some, it's about celebrating New Bedford. Doesn't matter how you choose to celebrate this week, is the week that all of us join each other to really celebrate all your contributions, and that's wonderful. Talk about the Ernestine. I know the mayor mentioned about the Ernestine. It's just a brief update. It is up in Maine. It's looking beautiful. It's about to end. The first phase of restoration will be done around September, sometime in September, early October. The second phase will begin sometime in November, and hopefully by the summer of 2019, hopefully by that, next summer really, right? It will sail into New Bedford, and New Bedford will remain and continue to be the home port of the Ernestina. Because it was the people of Cape Verde, of Cabo Verde, that gave that as a gift to all of us, and we should never forget that. At the time, a poor country, a country that wanted to give something to the United States and to its people, and in particular to the people of the Commonwealth in New Bedford, and that means a lot. And they invested also to make sure the vessel would be able to sail across the ocean to New Bedford. So hopefully, all of us together, we can then someday sail back. That's part of the plan, is to have the Ernestina sail back for Independence Day in Cape Verde. Imagine the Ernestina pulling in Praia. Imagine that. How proud all of us will be. Imagine. It's a nice way of saying thank you to the people of Cape Verde for the great gift that they gave us. So let's really begin this celebration. I think it's going to be a wonderful week. Congratulations to those who got all those great scholarships. And don't forget, on your way, stop at Tom Loeb's Park. I was there Friday. Stopped in, walked around a little bit. Actually, it's being polished. It was being polished and cleaned on Friday. I think there was a contract with the city to do Tom Loeb's and also do the Fisherman Memorial statue down by the water. Stop, walk around, think about it. You know, Tom today would be around with this camera, taking wonderful pictures and videoing the whole event. And you know, it's really amazing to stand there and to think about that little space, how important it is for all of us. And I know it's important to all of you. So spend some time, walk by, sit on one of the benches, think about New Bedford, think about the community, and think about, in particular this week, what it means to all of us. So, on my behalf, on behalf of all of you and those that I represent, thank you again. Congratulations, and let's celebrate. Viva New Bedford, viva Cape Verde.
Thank you, Tony. All right, next up will be, again, someone who needs no introduction at all anywhere in the city, and that is City Councilor at Large, Brian Gomes. Brian.
Thank you very much, Mayor Mitchell. How's everybody doing? Come on, make some noise. How's everybody doing? You know, every time I step at this podium and it's Cape Verdean Recognition Week, we make noise. We let them hear us up in the North End. Let's do it again. Do it again! That's the call of the Cape Verdean community to come down this weekend and enjoy the festivities. We have a community that everyone should be very proud of. You've heard speakers before me speak about way back in the whaling days and what the contributions are of the Cape Verdean community. Well, they come in every different facet you can think of, from our police officers, to our nurses, to our teachers, to our doctors like Dr. Andrade, and many others. We are very proud of our community. I am very proud to represent this community, represent this city at large. The Cape Verdeans have contributions in many ways. In so many ways, they are part of the integral part of this city. They are part of the puzzle of this city that comes to fruition every year. The Cape Verdean community this weekend will offer to the entire city and those that will travel here a taste of New Bedford, a taste of the Cape Verdean American of New Bedford. I want everyone to come out and enjoy it, have fun, dance to music, enjoy the parade, and most of all, be safe and interact with each other. We have always been a community that interacts. I could stand here and tell you so many of the stories. My dad owned the cleaners on the corner of Acushnet Avenue and Bedford Street. So as a young man, I got to see some of that old Cape Verdean community. Musicians such as Bana. Do we all remember Bana? Some of the old people that are sitting here? That's one of the first Cape Verdean music that I ever danced to, and I love Bana. The Cape Verdean community, as I said, has a lot to offer. I would like to bring the greetings of the City Council President, who was unable to be here this evening due to an injury she suffered early in the week, but she brings her greetings and hopes to see everyone this weekend. At the same time, I would like to recognize my colleagues that have joined us this afternoon. And I'll go from the bottom of the stairs up. Ward 3, Councilor Yu Dunn. Naomi Connie, Councilor at Large. Dana Rivero, Ward 4 Councilor. Maria Giusta, Ward 2. Councilor Scott Lima of Ward 5. You see that Cape Verdean representation? Even Councilor Dunn and Maria Giusta and the mayor all want to be Cape Verdean this weekend. I want you to know that I traveled by the beach earlier this weekend and today, and everybody's down there getting their Cape Verdean tan on. Because you got to have a tan for the Cape Verdean weekend. And you got to be Cape Verdean. Everybody's Cape Verdean. God bless you all. Let's have a great weekend. The weather looks like it's on our side. Let them hear us in the North End. Have a great weekend. The mayor said, nice job, and he tried to get me out of here, and I forgot one thing. There are some special people, and they work with a, I'm not going to call it an army, but they work with a group of people that are very small and limited in the numbers. And what they do is phenomenal. So I would like to say on behalf of the City Council to Mary Ann, Marlene, Diane, Carl Cruz, and that army of yours, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because without what you do, we don't have this successful weekend. And it's a lot of work. I got to sit in on a meeting, and these people are intense, and they are committed. Give them another round of applause and make it loud. Thank you.
All right, Councilor Gomes did bring attention to some of the accomplishments of the Cape Verdean community, so it reminded me of something I did want to bring attention to while we're here, and that's another event this week, and I'm going to embarrass her, but our own Anne-Marie Lopes recently completed a documentary on the history of Cape Verdeans in New Bedford, and there'll be a special showing of the documentary at 6 o'clock on Thursday, July 5th. So I just want to, I know Anne-Marie did a skillful job, as she does with everything else with having to do with videos and the city's history. So she's behind the camera. Anne-Marie, if you can wave, you're behind the camera. All right, next I'd like to call up our ward councilor right here, Ward 4 Councilor Dana Ribeiro. Dana.
So we're going to all do this together, the three of us. So thank you all for coming. I'm going to just lower this a little. So thank you all for coming. Very proud to be Cape Verdean, very proud to serve with Scott and Naomi. And I know this week is going to be awesome because of all the hard work that they put in. And I think the best part is it's kind of a family reunion for the city. We have family coming in from all over for this. So it really proves what our good chief says, that we are a city of one. So I'm looking forward to like the biggest family reunion ever this Saturday. Thank you.
Well, this is the best weekend of the entire year, the Cape Verdean Parade. It's the biggest parade, the most wonderful parade, and I can't believe that this core group puts on such a marvelous parade year after year after year. Let's have another round of applause for our parade. But this is a weekend to be proud, not only at Cape Verdean Recognition, but for the entire year. It's proud to be a Cape Verdean American. It's proud to be up here looking at the great crowd standing out there and representing the city of New Bedford. And thank you so much. We're going to have a great weekend. We're going to celebrate and have fun, so have a great time.
just want to say thank you for all being here. This is a celebration of everyone that's here. Thank you to the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee. They do a lot of work, and it's going to be a really great time. I'm glad that the parade's on a Saturday this year, so that gives a lot of folks who are coming out of town an opportunity to come in. So I expect that there's going to be a lot of people at the parade and a lot of people down in Monty's Park and the Biscuit Club and Vets Hall and everything. So I look forward to seeing you all, and I thank you very much.
All right, next up, I'd like to call up my colleague from the school committee, Jack Livermeno, who I can testify has spent tremendous energy and focus over the last few years in ensuring that every child in this city has an equal opportunity to a great education. Jack.
Thank you, Mayor Mitchell, and thank you to all of our city officials who are here, and also to you, our members of this Cape Verdean community of the city of New Bedford. We need to stand up. That's what we say to each other. We need to stand up and we come forward and we celebrate together as a community that looks toward tomorrow based on what it has experienced in the past. And I'm going to bring up one issue. And the one issue that I'm looking at right now is on Saturday of this past week, families belong together, a group of concerned citizens got together to really begin saying families need to be together. And the reason I bring that up is because if not for my father emigrating to the United States, I would not be here today. If not my parents who emigrated to the United States, I would not be here today. In fact, I think a major portion of us would not be here today. So we need to stand up for those persons who really don't have an opportunity to step forward and say, hey, I'm an American as well as you. I'm trying to obtain a living. I'm trying to be safe. I'm trying to be free. And that's what we're about today. We're about saying that we as Cape Verdeans, we as Americans are free to express what we need, free to express what we want in our society, free to work and obtain all the things that are necessary for us. So let's celebrate. Let's celebrate our Cape Verdean heritage. Let's celebrate who we are. Let's look toward making sure that each and every person who really comes to the United States can really enjoy the benefits as you and I have enjoyed the benefits so far, so that we all become one community, one world, one nation. Happy Cape Verdean Day!
So over the last few minutes, you've heard some references to the work it takes to pull all this together. Not just this event, not just the scholarship event, not just the parade, everything. It's a ton of work, but everybody loves it. And when you take a look back at, when you really step back and think about what it takes to make things like this happen, it usually starts with really good leadership. And we have that with the committee, on the committee, with a core group of individuals who've been at it for a number of years, and whose hard work, and they're not making any money out of this. They are doing it out of love for their community, both the Cape Verdean community and the city at large. And again, we can't thank them enough. And I want to call up the president of the committee, who has already received a round of applause, which, you know, we could sit here and clap all night for you guys. You deserve it. But without any further ado, Mary and Roger.
Boa tarde. Viva Cape Cabo Verde. Thank you to our officials for their kind remarks. Thank you, Mayor John Mitchell and the City of New Bedford for their support of the parade. Thank you, Chief Cadero, for your support, and Captain Frank Correa. We had a great meeting the other day. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that we don't know. Special thank you to Councilor Dana Ribeiro and Councilor Brian Gomes, who are also very supportive of the parade. Thank you, Cassandra Lopes and Dana DeBarros. They're a great example of talent that we have in New Bedford, and also the Batacuda drumming. Weren't they great? And it is great that we have Izzy's. We have food this year. Thank you to the Cape Verdean American veterans who, under the leadership of Manuel Lope, started Cape Verdean Recognition Week over 46 years ago. Because Cape Verdean Recognition Week started before the parade. Cape Verdeans are part of Cape Verdeans are part of the rich history of New Bedford. I could go on and name all the distinguished Cape Verdeans from the past and the present. We have a long list of names, but there are two New Bedford Cape Verdean trailblazers I would like to point out today. And one of them we've already spoke about, Judge George Layton, who sadly passed away. Judge Layton was a champion of the people and was the first Cape Verdean American appointed as a federal judge. We are proud to have the New Bedford Post Office named for him. The second Cape Verdean trailblazer is Captain Joseph Silva, and I would like to wish Captain Joseph Silva a belated happy birthday. Mr. Silva was the first Cape Verdean hired in the New Bedford Fire Department and the first Cape Verdean to be promoted to the Fire Deputy Chief. In April, he was 100 years old. Mr. Silva, thank you for your service, and we wish you well. Oh, is he here? The celebrating of Cape Verdean Recognition Week started last week. Hey, maybe some year we may have it for 2 weeks. With our scholarship event, as stated before, $40,000 was awarded to deserving students. You will hear more about that from Maren Gonsalves, who is the chairperson. And she's been the chairperson of the scholarship committee, I believe, for at least 14 years. We have another week of celebrations. There is an exhibit at the New Bedford Library with memorabilia of past Cape Verdean Recognition Week celebrations and parades. After this program, please go across to the library, 3rd floor, for a walkthrough by Jim Lopes. On Thursday, Candida Rose has a lecture and will be performing there. Oh, I'm sorry. Candida Rose is having a concert and lecture, and it's called Exploring the Cape Verde and United States Musical Connection and Legacy. This will be Thursday at the New Bedford Whaling Museum at 6 p.m. And on July 7th, the Cape Verdean Recognition Week will culminate with our 46th Cape Verdean Recognition Parade. And you will hear more about that from Diane Gomes, who we have a fantastic parade, and she's been the chair of the parade for the past, I think, over 5 years. And she's done a wonderful job. And hope to see you all, and what a great crowd. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Marilyn Gonsalves.
Good afternoon, everyone. Beautiful afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here again to celebrate the beginning of Cape Verdean Recognition Week. I am extremely proud to announce that we have awarded $338,000 to 336 students in the last 13 years. I'm sorry. This year we have awarded $41,000 to 27 deserving high school graduates. I am very grateful for the committee, and we have a few of our members here this afternoon. Gail Gonsalves, Cynthia Morris, and let's see who else is here from Sylvia Gomes, our photographer, attorney Sylvia Gomes. I want to thank the committee, and we're all very grateful for all the monies that we've raised this year and the generous amount of donations received from so many sponsors, organizations, businesses, and individuals who made it extremely successful. The committee wishes to express their thanks and gratitude to all that made it possible, in assisting the cause of increasing awareness about the importance of education and leadership for our young adults. We ask for your continued support next year. The committee has a 501(c)(3) status, so therefore all donations are deductible. If anyone is ever interested in donating something, please just send it to the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee, Post Office Box 3070, or you may contact any member of the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee. We hope to see you all at the parade on Saturday, and we want to show off our recipients, so please give them a great welcome, and have a great week. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Marilyn. Next up, I'd like to introduce somebody else who puts her time and effort and dedication and love into all the events, and who's the chairperson of the parade committee. That's Diane Gomes.
I can't speak Creole like Marilyn. Mary Ann, she's been practicing. Thank you all for coming out. It's wonderful to see everyone in attendance today. Woohoo! I'm excited. Everybody ready for the parade? I know I am, because I'm running on low energy right now and a lack of sleep, so excuse me. But first of all, I have to say I am so excited to have Peter Brito as our parade marshal this year, and I want to give him another round of applause. I think I've known Peter all my life, and I love him dearly, and I know many of you do, and I can't wait to see him riding in that convertible, getting his wave on, right? Who wants to see Peter? You ready, Peter? You got your wave? Practice your wave? When I was about 14, I think, I was looking for a job, and called my sister Missy, and I said, Missy, how did you get that job? I need a job. Put my application in all over the place. I think it was the CETA program at the time. And she said, call Mr. Brito. Mr. Brito, Peter Brito, Eric and Monique's dad, call him. I called Mr. Brito, and I said, Mr. Brito, nobody's hiring me. I need a job. He said, be at the park at this time on this day, and I'll give you a job. And he gave me a job, and I scored at the basketball games. And it was my first job, and I went to the parks, and I scored the basketball games, and then I had to work at a park on the rest of the days. So I have deep love for this man, and I'm so happy that he was nominated. I went online, and everybody knows that Peter did the shootouts, and that's only one of the things that Peter did, because he worked his whole life and he's retired. But I went online and looked up a lot of articles, and the reason why he started those shootouts, we all know, is to get the kids off the streets. He wanted to have a safe haven. And I can't remember what article this is from, but it says, all thanks to Peter Brito's personal philosophy of giving each youngster a bit of attention. We just want to give these kids a solid foundation, one they might not get any other way. Peter, down, please, softly. We're not only teaching them basketball, we're teaching them love. We love you, Peter. He's a strong supporter of all things Cape Verdean. So, the parade. Before I start getting into the parade, I can't go any further without thanking my sponsors. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. And the most important sponsors of all are all of you. I see many people out there right now that have given money for years and years and years, over and over, and every single dollar counts, whether it's $25, $10, $35, $100, every single penny counts, and we would not be able to do it without you. So I want you all to give yourself a round of applause. And our major sponsors this year, thanks to Carol Pimento. Carol Pimento was our go-between. She hooked us up with cruise companies this year. So we're very happy for Carol. Thank you, Carol. And cruise companies, they're gonna come through for us. They were very happy to get connected with us again after a few years. and they're looking forward to working with us again, so I'm looking forward to a future with them. We have Grant Pierce Housing. They've been a contributor for 2 years now. Mass Cultural Council, United Way Community Grants. They help us out a lot with a lot of our equipment needs. New Bedford Police Union, they've been a very faithful supporter for the past few years. Saunders Drive Funeral Home, Senior Whole Health, Whirly Beds over the Fairhaven Bridge, and Century House also. I know you all know where Century House is. I know you get your Geechee on at Century House. So another thing, the parade this year, I got a phone call from a group in Providence, North Providence, and I'm gonna attempt this Cape Verdean. It's Voz Informativa de Amor. And the short, I see you laughing at me over there. It stands for Vida. That's what it stands for, the initials, Vida. They go by Vida. Since March of '08, they've been going to Cape Verde. So it's all well and good that we celebrate Cape Verde independence here every year, rah-rah, we have a big parade, we have all these events and everything, but we cannot forget our Cape Verdean people back at the islands, and they need our help. So this group, since 2008, they have been going to Cape Verde. They pay for it themselves, but they collect items and they do outreach to all the different islands in Cape Verde. And this year, they're going in July, and they will be going to Santiago and Bovista. So the Cape Verdean Vets Hall at 561 Purchase Street has 2 containers, and they will be collecting donations. And it's mostly school supplies, new flip-flops, unused clothing, and things like that. If you're on Facebook, there's a flyer there, but if you go to the vets, there's a flyer there, but it's basically small donations, things like that. And we're looking to fill those boxes for them this year. It's a new collaboration for us. And they will also have a float in the parade, so we're excited about that. That's a new one. And then for our drum corps this year, we have 7th Regiment. And I don't know if anybody remembers 7th Regiment, but when you see them, you might remember them. They're sharp when they come down the street. Somebody's shaking their head over there. Yeah, somebody remembers. They're from Connecticut. And when you see them, I think you'll remember them, and we're excited to see them. They're the 3-time defending Drum Corps International drumline champions. And I don't know about you, but I love the drums, so I'm looking forward to that. We also have New England's Finest again, which is the House of Prayer marching band, and they come together with 7 different cities all over New England. They take turns practicing in the different cities, and then they come together when they perform in different areas. So they will be here again this year. And a new one we have, everyone heard of the South Coast Jazz Band, right? Well, they also have a South Coast Brass Band, which I didn't know about until this year. So they're gonna be in the parade as well. And then I see red shirts. Everybody see the red shirts over there in the corner? Tonka Tumblers, Toy Forts. I don't think they've missed a parade since the 80s. They've been in our parade every single year. Now, I know everyone loves them because it's all the city kids that are in that group, so we have them. And I see another gentleman sitting over there. I have to call you out. Ronnie Raymond, I see you over there. We're gonna have the Longshoremen. I don't know your local number, I'm sorry, but we have the Longshoremen Association. They're gonna be in the parade this year. And he's been working very hard to make sure that all of his older members that are unable to march are in a vehicle so that they can participate in the parade. So we're looking forward to having them in the parade, because you know the Longshoremen is a labor union, but the Longshoremen, when I think of Longshoremen, I don't know about you, but I think of Cape Verdean men on the boats, down on the docks since I was a little girl. Every time I heard the Longshoremen, I always thought of the Cape Verdean men working on the docks. So I'm happy that they're in. And another new one we have, and I'm excited to see this because I don't know how it's gonna work out, but they said they can do it, but we have a new group called Mass Attack. So don't get nervous, Chief Cordero, don't get nervous. It's a roller derby team, league, and it's all female. All female, and they are going to skate the park, not the park, it's from the park to the vets. on their roller derby skates. So I'm eager to see that. But they do have some new members. They did tell me they have some new members. So I told them, do not let the new members skate down School Street because I don't want any accidents. We haven't had any accidents at parade. I don't want to start this year. So they will have some members walking. But that's something new. So the other thing is, I want to give a shout out to the new Cape Verdean Band Club on Christian Avenue. Cassie is out in the audience because they partnered with us this year to bring our vendors to the people. Every year we have vendors, we have food, and we have vendors selling things, Cape Verdean artifacts, Cape Verdean t-shirts. Everyone always wants Cape Verdean hat, t-shirt at the end of the day. And we always have a little bit of difficulty figuring out where we can put our vendors in the Cape Verdean community. The streets are small, the parade goes right through the community. Where can we put the vendors? And the band club was generous enough to clear out their parking lot for us. They got a tent for us so people can go down and have some food, and there'll be a place to sit and you can get out of the sun. And the vendors are gonna be in the street down over there as well. So you'll be in one safe area, and the streets are already blocked off. So we're looking forward to Saturday. I'm looking forward to Saturday. Everyone else looking forward to Saturday? Yeah! Remember, it starts at Butler Park, 11 o'clock. Hope to see you all there. Wait. I cannot get off this mic without doing this. I'm sorry. Everyone's been clapping for us up here this whole time. But of course, it's not just us. It's not just me. I'm the chairperson of the parade committee. But there's no way that I do this by myself. I have the best committee ever. They work so very hard. All I need to do is text. Nobody does. I used to do email. They never answered my email. I started texting, quick. So now all I do is text. And I see some of the members, but I'm gonna call out all the names even though they're not all here. So that I don't forget anybody. See, I have a group text, parade committee, they're all together, one button. Alfred Montero, I don't think I've seen him here. Chris Carter, isn't he on your force? He's on the police force. Colleen Boswell, is he on the force? No. Dana DeBarros, our national anthem singer. And Dana's been fighting a cough for 2 weeks, could you tell? I couldn't tell you. Hey, Dana, I'm so proud of you. Desiree Martin, where's Des? Desiree, I see you, Des. Jenny Antunes, hi, Jenny. Jenny's over there. Joe Dias. Joe Dias is my behind-the-scenes guy. He doesn't like meetings, but he works behind the scenes. Jose Montero. Julio Barboza, Kenny Ramus, sitting back there. Yay, Kenny! Marianne Rogers, even though she's the president, she sits on our parade committee. Monique Brito, hey, Monique. Nate Montero, sitting over there with his family on the curb. Nate Montero is the mastermind to our fireworks crews. So if you're fortunate enough to get a ticket, thank Nate because he's the mastermind behind that. Norma Bile, where's Norma? Felicia Barboza, Renee Ledbetter, and Shane Burgo. I could not, and you all, we would not have a parade if it was not for this committee. They work so very hard. Thank you. Oh, the parade route. There's been a change to the parade route. Because of all the construction again on Union Street, we wanted to avoid that. So we're coming down Union and taking a right on County Street, and then we're going to go down left, down School Street. And everyone says, but School Street goes west. We are going east. So we're going right on County and left down School Street to Acushnet Avenue, to Grinnell, and then to Purchase and ending at the vets. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Diane. We're going to have good weather this week. There's a lot going on. It bears mentioning that the basketball tournament is on. Mike and Sasha will be out there making it happen. There will be a number of people who will be honored as part of that ceremony as well, and that's another great tradition. So let's support what Mike's done and what's going to happen out there. It's going to be like this. It's going to be hot, and as your mayor, I have to say, let's make sure everybody's hydrated out there and be safe, and have a great week. So we'll end it tonight with the Barracuda drummers who are already ready to go. I think they're ready. You guys ready to go? All right, make it happen. We'll see you this week at the parade. Thanks, everybody.